Well, let's move on to a special
Appreciate
guest
you.
that we have tonight. You're probably hearing it's making national news of a situation for Hamburger Mary's. Hamburger Mary's in Tampa, Florida, has closed because of health violations, and we with hepatitis A and a hepatitis A scare, and many things have come out since its closure. Even to the reflection of gay bias. And we would like to introduce as a guest, the owner of Hamburger Mary's, who currently also has additional Hamburger Mary franchises, and he is coming to us from Tampa, Florida, Kurt King. Kurt, welcome to It's Happening Out. What's the current situation for you at Hamburger Mary's?
Hamburger Mary's is still closed. The ACLU's teaming up with me, and we're filing some paperwork tomorrow.
Good.
The director of Hillsborough County Health Department vaguely says, claiming under HIPAA laws, that they can't provide the documentation of the proof that the employee had hepatitis A. And while we have all in the press pressed him to redact any of the information that would support the HIPAA laws but still prove that the employee had hepatitis A, he has refused to do so. What do you think about that?
My position is my employee gave me results from the hospital showing they were non-reactive while they were still in the hospital.
Why would the director of the health department in Hillsborough County keep secret the hepatitis A breakout for all of the locations except Hamburger Mary's, and then when this was revealed, not provide the documentation of the proof that hepatitis A existed at Hamburger Mary's? Why would they do this?
They used Hamburger Mary's, I feel, because we're a gay-owned and very popular restaurant, gay-owned and gay-operated, and I feel they wanted people to get their new vaccine out, so they used us to help get that out. The first week when they released it, over 600 people went in and got the vaccine.
A question for you, Kurt. Because of how an outbreak happens, has the ACLU or your lawyers submitted a FOIA request? Because by law, they have to contact anyone that has been associated with or the vaccines and find where they cross over or what restaurants that they visited in order to assess the loci and report it back to the CDC. Those are numbers that hopefully your lawyers could find and find out exactly how many were attributed to Hamburger Mary's or not.
Well, out of 559 people in the state of Florida that had hepatitis A, not one of them, by the health department, not one of them were linked back to Hamburger Mary's.
So you do know that. That's ridiculous.
Yes. The discrimination back then was really bad, and before that, years before that. Now with Bob Buckhorn as our mayor, it's incredible. I mean, he just makes gay people feel welcome in Tampa. He's a great mayor, but you know, there's certain people in the state that don't like the gay people, LGBTQ.
You've expressed why you feel they would target you, but why won't they release the information for the other businesses that have been stated to have had hepatitis A at their locations as well? What are your feelings and thoughts on that?
I feel they came after us because we were gay, and the other restaurants weren't.
I can't say that I doubt that for a second.
Well, we're sitting here at It's Happening Out,
In
really
shock.
in shock over that statement.
Did you ever consider back then that this might be a challenge you would face, or did you think we were well beyond that at this point?
I thought when I opened it up, actually I was doing it because of the economy was really bad, and a lot of my friends that had worked for me in the past had been out of work, and I thought it was past us, and so I opened it up thinking it's going to be great.
Do you regret opening, with this conclusion in Hillsborough County and Ybor City in Tampa, do you regret your commitment to Hamburger Mary's in Tampa?
Never.
Woo! Thank you.
Kurt is the type of person that he will actually sit there and employees that are sick, he will pay for their health care out of his own pocket. He will pay for funerals of employees, and many have died from the Hamburger Mary's family. He is a pillar of our community.
Well, I didn't know until last night when somebody brought to my attention from GLAD that my Hamburger Mary's, 5 restaurants, I was the largest LGBTQ employer in the country.
Wow.
That's
amazing.
amazing.
My employees meant everything to me. My employees were not my employees, they were my family.
Yeah.
I loved my family, and I did everything I could do for my family, from health to pageants to paying their rent, paying for their Christmas, doing everything I can do to help my family. And that's what it meant to me. A lot of people know what I've done for the community. I've never been one to pat myself on the back for what I've done, but I've done a lot for a lot of organizations. And with the help of my family, we raised all the money to help the community by the sales of at Hamburger Mary's.
What would you like to see happen next?
I've had a lot of mixed feelings about opening again because of the trust of the state. I really don't trust them. You know, our new governor yesterday, I don't know if you know, but he filed an executive order against discrimination, and he left out the LGBTQ community.
Yes, he did.
Shocking.
No,
So I really want to open up for my family. I want to put everyone back to work again. And that's my only goal. And that was my only goal when I opened up in 2009.
I mean, in every possible way, you were a ground zero moment in the gay community, in your community. With everything that you have seen, are you bitter about being a member of the gay community and what you have done because of this event?
To be honest, I'm very disappointed in the gay community. I'm very disappointed because I thought they would come out and they would support me. All the organizations that I have supported since 1991 when I moved here, even starting at TAN in 1992, and all the organizations that I've been part of, you know, from bowling to softball. I started the softball, Suncoast League, and it's been going for many years. I'm a Hall of Fame of the softball. I was just hoping that the gay community, the LGBTQ community, would have backed me and supported me more, and not just stand from afar, but come into Hamburger Mary's and stand up for me and show us their support and their love.
So how do we do that? How can we help? How can we as a community help?
Right now we have 3 restaurants open in Tampa Bay. We have Brandon, St. Pete, and Clearwater. Daytona's still open. Orlando and Jacksonville. Let's go out and support them. Go out and show them the support.
And for people,
you know, that all of us support Pride. All of us support the organizations, and all we're asking now is for your support.
what about
We're
people?
asking for everybody's support.
The state's health department representative saying where you fish where the fish are. We're going to ask this question, was that a gay whistle? And I can just tell you, for all of our national audience benefit, when we watched that health director say that, the entire room gasped that statement was made. There's Hamburger Marys all over the country, and Kurt, we wish you all the luck in the world, and we'll be following you. And thank you for making.
Can I just say one last thing?
Of course you can.
We have a GoFundMe page for Hamburger Marys, and all the money that we raise for that is going to go towards all the Hamburger Marys that have lost their jobs, that are still trying to find work out there.
Thank you very much, and thank you for joining It's Happening Out.